Hi there, Judy. Can you hear me? Thumbs up? Yep, you can hear me?
Yep. Good.
Hi, everybody. We should be outside enjoying this weather instead of
Yeah, it's real spring.
How are you, Mandava?
Good, very good.
Deb, how are you?
Doing great. Love the warm weather.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in Southern Illinois today. This morning, went down yesterday for work. I was in Mount Vernon. When I left there at noon, it was 60 degrees in Mount Vernon. It was hard to leave that area.
I'm glad you came back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am just wanting to get into my garden, into the soil, and just not there yet.
Yeah. Hi, Tim. How are you, bud?
Doing well.
Hey, Jill. How are you? Chad?
Ryan,
Yeah.
I have to pass on a compliment. I did reach out to all.
I always like
Yeah,
those. Yeah, go on.
exactly. You know, the other stuff I just keep to myself. No. I did reach out to all the council, you know, just kind of, I said, I knew you had met with them, but did they have any last minute thoughts? And I just got a note back from Maboko, who was just very, very complimentary of the work you've been doing with the council and updating them. He just really appreciates that. So I'm passing it along.
Thank you, Judy. It's what we do, Judy. It's our job, right?
And we do, but you know, sometimes it doesn't come out that way.
So if anybody else would like this cool Connect Transit screen thing, Jeff can get it for you. I did a presentation at the chamber last week and he created it for me. It's hides the mess of your office and your house too. So
Well, I keep the screen so that you really can't see.
hi, Billy.
Whatever the line of sight is for the screen here.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hi, Billy.
Hey, Jill, is that number? Do I have any public comments today or
No, sir.
thanks?
I have 1 minute. I'm gonna check in our training room real quick.
Yep, sure. I'll wait till you're back. Hi, Linda.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, Linda.
Hi, Linda. We've been hanging out together.
You're right. We've been in some good places.
Oh, I'll tell you, the good messages just keep coming.
They just do. You're right. And then tonight, good messages. All right.
Is Mark on? Am I seeing Mark? Is Mark on?
Not yet, I think.
There you are, Mark. Driving in his car, doing a Zoom. You're on mute, Mark. Hey, Julie, we're waiting on Jill to come back and we're starting this meeting. I got everybody here, so.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hey.
Julie. We're all pumped today because of sunshine.
Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Okay, Jill, call the meeting to order. Please call the roll.
Yes, sir. Hold on. Trustee Judy Buchanan,
Here,
trustee Linda Foster,
Here.
vice chairman Julie Heil,
Here,
trustee Tim McHugh,
Here,
Trustee Deb Presley,
Here.
trustee Mandava Rao,
Here.
City of Bloomington Deputy City Manager Billy Tyus,
Here.
Town of Normal Manager Pam Reese,
Here.
Chairman Ryan Whitehouse.
Here, so we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So Judy, you want to start it for us?
Sure.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
United States of America,
to the republic which
for
is
which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Judy. Instead of all of us over talking that, I'll just have someone do it for us from now on until we get out of the Zoom. I'll also make a point here. Zoom works, man. Everyone's connected. The technology works. So I'm excited about that. Jill, any public comments in the other room?
We just have one listening in, and it's one of the drivers.
Okay, great. Glad to have them.
No comments.
Okay, so that moves us to item E, the consent agenda. Can I have a motion for approval?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Moved by Judy Buchanan, seconded by Mandava, seconded by Mandava. Discussion, staff, any discussion? Mr. Peterson? No. I guess I'll start. I just want to point out, since it's January of 21 compared to our ridership of January of 20, you know, last year we had the ridership, you can see that the numbers are down. But I want to point out, I pointed this out at the chamber presentation last week, and I think it's important, even though our numbers are down, we are still given 1.7 million rides in this community. And with the health pandemic and, you know, people concerned and rightfully concerned, and all the safety protocols that we've put in place, in a community our size, we're still given 1.7 million rides. So to me, give a personal opinion here, that still proves the value of transit in a community, in most communities, but it still proves the value of Connect Transit to this community. And so I just wanted to, you know, bring everyone's attention to the numbers, but then also, you know, let the public know that I believe that we're still a essential service to the people that we serve in this community. So any other comments on the consent agenda? Seeing none, will the clerk call the roll?
Trustee Buchanan,
Yes.
trustee Foster,
Yes.
vice chairman Heil,
Yes.
trustee McHugh,
Yes.
trustee Presley,
Yes.
trustee Rao,
Yes.
chairman Whitehouse.
Yes. So motion, consent agenda is approved. Moves us up to item F, new business. Item 1, recommendation to authorize board chairman to execute Proterra electric bus and infrastructure contracts. Can I get a motion for approval?
So moved.
Moved by Tim McHugh. Can I get a second?
Second, Linda.
Second by Linda Foster. Mark Peterson, update
Yes.
on this?
Yeah, and I'm going to turn it over to Brady. Just a few introductory comments. This is a kind of a perfunctory action. You already have approved in prior action the purchase of the buses, but at that time we did not have final pricing and contracts. We have those now, and so this is your opportunity to approve the details, even though you've already authorized in concept the acquisition of the buses. But we've been working very closely with Proterra, the manufacturer, and Brady in particular has been playing the point person on this. So I'll ask Brady if he has any just introductory comments, and then he could certainly, I'm sure, respond to any of your questions. So Brady.
Perfect. Thanks, Mark. That's a great intro. You covered pretty much everything. So for those of you that were on the board in September of 2019, you'll probably recall approving the purchase of the Proterra electric buses. Since that time, we've been working through all the fine details of these buses and all the specifications. It's taken quite a bit of time, but we're finally there, and they have come back with our final pricing on the buses, as well as the charging infrastructure that's going to be necessary for those. So this contract will include both of those items. And you'll notice the total price for those is $4,390,913. That is going to be funded 65% of which through IDOT DOPE funding. And you will also recall we had 1.2 million in Federal Transit Administration low or no emissions grant that will fund another part of it, and the remainder will be funded by the recent IDOT Rebuild Illinois Capital Grant. And I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions from trustees? Thank you, Brady. Any questions from trustees? Seeing none.
I don't have any questions,
Linda?
but
Go ahead, Linda.
okay, I don't have any questions. I'm just elated that they able to find the monies to be able to fund this. And so, thank you to Brady and the team for extending yourself out to look for these resources. I know it took a lot of time and paperwork to be able to pull all this together. So thank you all.
Thanks, Linda. Any other comments from trustees? Seeing none, will the clerk call the roll?
Trustee Buchanan,
Yes.
trustee Foster,
Yes.
vice chairman Heil,
Yes.
trustee McHugh,
Yes.
trustee Presley,
Yes.
trustee Rowell,
Yes.
chairman Whitehouse.
Yes, motion is approved. Let's get those electric buses. Thank you, Brady. Thanks, Ms. Peterson.
Mhm.
Item 2, under F, under new business, ranking of final 3 sites for downtown transfer center facility. So today's the day, ladies and gentlemen, and shiny day too. So good day for us. So I know that we had discussed, well, I've talked to some of you about what I've asked. I know Vice Chairman Heil has talked to the normal trustees about the process. I wanted to put a process in play here. So everyone has the right and the ability to be speak and to be heard. And I know if we, I'm guilty of this, if we allow conversation back and forth, unknowingly, someone might take over someone else's time. And I want to make sure that you all have the opportunity to speak and share your thoughts here. So for the public's knowing, we are going to do like a round, and we're going to start with trustee Buchanan. I will go last, and Vice Chairman Heil will go second to last. The first round, I'm going to try to keep it to 5 minutes each. I'm going to have a clock here, so if you hear it, wrap it up. So I'm going to have you I'm asking you 3 questions here, okay? I'm asking you to rank what you think are the best, rank the sites 1, 2, and 3. Site 1 is the Pantograph, site 2 is the Market Street Garage, and site 3 is the former C2 East facility. I'm asking you to rank what you think is the best site in your opinion. The second question I'm going to ask you to answer is kind of share your thoughts and your rationale of why you came up with that thought and opinion. And then the third question is, it's a question for staff. If you have questions for staff or you have questions for Farnsworth Group, Chad and Ed are on the call that can answer. We will take those questions after everyone goes, okay? So we'll do that round. At the end of that, if there are questions of staff or Farnsworth Group, they will answer those questions. So I know staff and Chad and Ed will be writing down questions and we'll address those at that time. And then we will go back and we will allow another round if you would like to make another statement or someone has helped spur a thought or make you change your mind on something. Happy to do that. And if needed, I'm going to try to keep that to 3 minutes. And if needed, we can come back again if the trustees want to do this. I think I have spoke to most of you. I know you have been really hard at work these last 2 weeks, looking at all the details. I think that you're probably pretty confident in your decision. I know I'm confident in my decision. I want to thank the public for giving us all their input. We got a lot of input, and I know that the Bloomington council members, I spoke to them, they shared thoughts, what they think. That helps, you know, I weighed that with my decisions. The public reached out. Mr. Hart last month at the meeting 2 weeks ago spoke. I spoke with him again and shared his thoughts. You saw again today some letters. We've received a lot of letters from downtown business owners expressing what they think is the appropriate thing. So I'm confident when we cast our vote today, we're doing it with a lot of information, and you've analyzed that, and you've weighed all those options. And I trust that we will make the right decision and we will move forward. So with all that being said, before we start, Vice Chairman Heil, any comments that you want to make about that process? You helped me develop that process as well.
Sorry, I have a dog barking in the background here. Ryan, no, I am very comfortable with the process. I appreciate the opportunity to contribute to the design of that process, and I look forward to hearing what our colleagues have to say.
Okay, well, thanks. Okay, we're going to start with our most wise person on the board, and we're going to start with Judy Buchanan, and you've got 5 minutes. Go, Judy.
Okay, take back the wise. All right, no. I wanted to start with just saying how, in addition to the sunshine today, how excited I am to, that we're at this spot. We've been talking about this for a number of years, and it just doesn't happen. There's been so much research and work and study. Many elements of this project have been looked at. And my rankings have really are informed by some of the considerations that Ryan just mentioned. We had a survey, the union weighed in, the City of Bloomington employees, the technical advice people, all of them, as well as I want to thank all of them and our staff. And I'm kind of harking back to Linda's comment, and that is that the Connect Transit staff has for a number of years done what was necessary to continue to be in line for the funding. It's phenomenal. The funding is there. We just need to start the project. I'm ranking them in priority. Number 1 for me would be Pantograph. Number 2 would be the Market Street Garage, and number 3 would be the C2 East site. In terms of the pros for the Pantograph building, I, like others, appreciate the historic reuse of that property, and I think we'll probably be able to use some of it. Some development and some additional development west of Main Street. There's been things going on east of Main, and it's nice to look at that side of our downtown corridor. However, that also raised a con that I became aware of in the surveys, and that is there have been some recent new housing and residential developments, and they're concerned about the noise factor, which I think that is something that could be addressed when we get into the design. The flat terrain, access, egress, that property has room to grow and expansion. I don't think we ever want to just do something for today. We have to look forward. It has the potential for partnering with other members of the community, retailers, restaurateurs. The layout and the design looks like it will have a good flow. In terms of the cons, vacating that 1 block of Jefferson, but I've been informed that probably will not be a significant barrier. The noise issue, but I'm confident we can take care of that. And of course, whenever you're building and digging down, we don't know yet what might be underground that we have to deal with. How am I doing on time?
You have 2 minutes.
Okay, site 2 is the Market Street Garage. I think, like most of you, the biggest comment that stuck out was the significant loss of parking, the number of people who use that on a daily basis, as well as visitors to the downtown corridor. The non-for-profits and some of the offices that many of our riders use are in and close to that parking garage. So that would be a plus. A little bit less residential in the area. In terms of the cons, it is cramped. It has no expansion capability. And of course, the loss of parking. That is, that's a major factor. And I think it's one that we really, it's a hurdle I don't think we could get over. And what would happen to the post office? There are people who live in the downtown corridor who use that post office. Site 3, the C2 East building, the pro was, amen, we're finally going to tear down that eyesore of a building. However, that also is part of the con, because that building and the property there that would be available is simply too small. Community partners I talked to thought it would be very congested getting in and out, and that was my initial thought. No expansion, just very crowded, and not seen as very convenient. So there you go.
Any questions that you have for staff? Thank you, Judy. Any questions you have for staff or Farnsworth Group at this time?
No, they've all done such a super job. I've got lots of information I had to deal with here.
Great. Thank you, Judy. You did it in less than 5 minutes. Thanks so much. Appreciate your thoughts. Trustee Foster, your floor.
Thank you, Ryan. And I'm not going to repeat what Trustee Buchanan stated. I also had the those on my list as well. But in addition, I want to just say how I think that it would be more viable to the community. My first choice is the Panagraph building. And then my second choice would be the Market Street. And then my third would be, again, C2 East. Now, mind you, before we started this process, I always thought that the Market Street was perfect. I really did. And without doing any studies, I just felt as though that'd be a great location, and without knowing what those other options were. But upon the study, it has really helped me to hone in on what I believe is the number one choice for me would be the Panagraph. There is the square footage in which we know that we don't want to be what they call landlocked. You don't want to get into a spot where you can't expand and that you can't grow. And so we want to make sure that we always have those options. And in addition to that, because of those options, we're able to have private and governmental entities using that space as well. So it's not just a transit space, but it is a community space. And I believe that once that is in place, that more people will come to that particular building for one reason or another. They will have a need to come there. And so I believe that the traffic will be increased. And I know that's something that we will have to address and deal with, especially with the arena being so close. You know, the idea that people can ride the bus to the arena, walk a block, and you're there. You know, and so with those amenities, I think that, you know, looking at the business owners and offices, yeah, you know, there'll be some challenges. The first thing come to my mind is lighting, because we don't want people to have to stay up all night because there's lighting coming from the facility. But we know we can kind of work through those things, and we want to make sure that all of our owners, whether business or home, are comfortable where they can utilize their space as they desire. I just think it's great for the area. It's the heart of Bloomington. It is close to other agencies. We're going to preserve history, and it has the least impact on tenants. And I just believe that with the Market Street, it's going to cause a lot more destruction of rebuilding, and then you're going to end up with less space unless you continue to go up. You know, and we want to be careful about keep going up. And so in addition to that, with the C2, again, that's the smallest space. I think that in the position that is in, I just don't think it's conducive to getting big buses and folks in and out. And so my choice would allow us to do a lot more partnering and collaborative efforts and being community-based, and that this space, in my belief, will provide the things that we're thinking about now and the things that's going to come up in the future. Because we know that over time, there will be some other opportunities and we want to be ready for that. So how am I doing with my time?
22 seconds, Linda.
22 seconds left.
Yeah.
Well, let me just say that I don't want to repeat myself, but the Pantograph building, again, I believe stands out.
Thank you, Linda. Good points. Thank you, Linda. Trustee Presley, you are up. Ready? It's yours.
All right, thanks. First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of the community members who responded to the survey, because it really does help to provide a broader perspective on issues that face a variety of members of the community and businesses. So my ranking is similar. I rank the Pantograph as Site 1. It gives us the most flexibility. It is in a location that will serve the downtown Bloomington area well. It looks towards future growth and is level and will, I just think, be the best choice of the three. The second ranking is the Market Street Garage. And the only way that I would want to move forward on that location is if we would be able to develop some type of a partnership in order to create additional parking, another garage, realizing that that's not under our venue, but would definitely need to be some type of a partnership in order to replace that parking that we would be taking away if that site was selected. So that would be my number 2 with that caveat. And then my third ranking is the C2 East site. And similar to everything else that's already been said, my concern is that the site is just too small and doesn't provide for ease of use by the buses and will provide way too much congestion in that area. And then I see it as like a safety issue for the buses and traffic. So everything else that's been said are thoughts that I had enlisted, but I don't need to repeat them. And in the interest of time, I will pass it on.
Deb, awesome. Under 2 minutes. So great job. Thanks for doing that. Next up is Trustee McHugh. Tim, floor is yours.
The advantage of going further down in this conversation is that a whole lot of smart people have already said much of what I'm thinking. So thank you all for that. I won't repeat too much of what's been said. I would rank the site similarly. The Pantograph building first, the Market Street site second, and the C2 East site third on my list. One of the things that hasn't specifically been mentioned about the Pantograph site that I like is the proximity to the existing connect routes as they are. One of the things that the public really benefits from in terms of public transit is predictability, not having to change too much of their thinking about where do I get on the bus, where does it take me, all of those types of things. So I like the proximity to the existing routes for sure. The reason that I put the Market Street site second had a lot to do with what Mr. Hart shared at our special meeting a couple of weeks ago. I think we really do need to be mindful of our impact on our community partners. I think one of the things that has made Connect successful is that we've always worked to be a good member of the community, and listening to some of the potential negative impacts that the Market Street site would have had on his business and some of the surrounding businesses. I didn't see us being a great community partner in pursuing that site. So that's why. And then similarly with the C2 East site, safety is my biggest concern. That's such a small constricted space. The sight lines are not good. I think you're just inviting more traffic chaos than you want. And similarly, as others have said, it just doesn't give us the opportunity to grow. And I think that one of the things that's made Connect successful as an organization and this board successful is our ability to always be looking forward. And I think the Pantograph site gives us the best opportunity to do what we want to do today, but also be prepared for what might be in the future. So those are my thoughts.
Thank you, Tim. And to your first thing you said, why do you think I'm going last? So I can just steal all your guys' great ideas. So thanks, Tim. Now, Mandava, your floor is yours.
Yeah, obviously, I agree with all the members, board members, being the Pantograph as the first option, because almost everyone has covered the points, positives of pros of the selecting that site. In my view, what I see is in respect to the safety and to the bus turnings and bus traffic, this place is a very big place, and it is a good approach for the buses to come in and go out. That's one thing definitely I will consider. And the second thing that I look at this area, I mean, I know pretty well Bloomington downtown area. The more potential riders live around that area, nearby, walking distance around that area. That's what I see. And the complaint that I see, the noise and other things, I mean, it may not be much that can be managed. If we take it positively, the downtown, Bloomington downtown will become more lively with this setup of transport center. That's what I see that, and businesses will develop over there. And those are all the good things. And my first preference will be, as everyone said, it is Pantograph building, and it's a big place, big space, and good. And second thing that I see, what I see is Market Street, West Market Street, the parking lot. It is for the businesses. I believe that we should not go and occupy that. That's what my feeling, even though we partner them, because the businesses in downtown has to go up, and they have to have the facility. That's what I see. And with respect to the traffic also, it is a little bit congested over that. So my second preference, I mean, better than the third option. That's what I see. But coming to the southeast street, yeah, it's very small, and safety-wise, it's not good. That's what my comment on that. The other comments, all the other board members have given pros. I accept for all those things. Thank you very much, Ryan.
Yep. Thank you, Mandava. I appreciate it. Vice Chair Heil, 5 minutes.
My ranking matches that of the rest of the boards. Pantograph first, Market Street parking deck second, C2 East third. I've been listening carefully and very much appreciate the perspective you all are bringing to the discussion. And like others, I want to express our appreciation for the input that we've gotten from the community. Lots of different perspectives, and most helpful. Excuse me. I do have one question for Chad having to do with safety. One second, I need a cup. Safety. Chad, just when the time comes, I'm hoping you can comment on such things as clearance, turn lane space, I'm interested in the comment that we got from a member of the community about pull-through lanes like we have in Uptown versus the diagonal parking spaces we have, at least in the conceptual work that you guys have done. I am a big fan of pull-through. I don't like any kind of vehicle backing if we can prevent it. And so that's just a thought. And then the other thing is, I'm wondering if you all have had any thoughts at all about the considerable pedestrian traffic that we would be creating crossing North Madison, what the possibilities there might be. The other things that I would add to the reasons for the Pantograph building are pretty straightforward. I think that they suggest, I think that that location suggests a connection to downtown. There's just something about the that visual scape as you come up the way toward the Pantograph building and look to the left, and you can just see the many things there are to do there. I think we would get that also with Market Street, but there's something about being sort of at the crest of that hill more as the Pantograph building is. Its size gives it takes up more space in the sky, and so it kind of pulls your eye up and over. And so I think it suggests connection to downtown and might well help us not only take the best possible care of our transit reliant riders, but also attract choice riders. Linda, you made comment about that the Coliseum is right there, right? And so there are obvious connections that can help us continue with this interest we have in choice ridership. That's it for me.
Okay, thanks, Julie. I appreciate that. Chad, we'll do questions after my comments. I guess I want you, and let me just say this, Julie, those comments are all great. I appreciate those. Those sound like design questions. I don't know if Chad is prepared. We haven't really talked about design. This board will make those decisions and we'll look at safety. So Chad, and when we get to that, by all means, answer that. But some of those were comments that we'll take into consideration at a later time. But thanks for those thoughts, Julie. So starting the clock on me as well. I won't go 5 minutes, but I'm in the same rank: Pantograph, Market Street Garage, and C2 East. I think everyone's points are perfect and good. I think for me, it comes down to this: the Pantograph, most space. It's the possibility of keeping a historic building, or maybe I don't know if it's historic, but a building that is known to this community. I say possibility because we haven't had the opportunity to get in there and look at this and see if that's even an option, but that's our hopes, right? I think that's something. I think it's a West Side development. I think that's attractive. I think that if we're going to put this kind of investment, a $20 million investment, I think it's attractive that it's on a street that visitors to our community drive by and see that our community makes serious investments into our community and all that stuff. And I also like the safety aspect of it. I like that it is flat. I know that in some of the surveys and some of the work in the original study, inclines and grade changes can sometimes be a little bit worrisome. So I think that I think that we're all on the same page here, and there's no reason for me to keep on saying this. So I'm going to turn this over to Chad or Mark. If I don't know if you want to start with some thoughts on questions or comments, and then we'll turn it to Chad to address or just any thoughts to what Julie might have said without getting into the whole design, because we're not there yet.
Ryan, let me just say, if I could, generally staff is in agreement with the board, which is always nice. And for all of the reasons you mentioned, there are a variety of reasons we feel that the Pantograph site is the best overall. Each 3 sites have a unique set of advantages and a unique set of disadvantages, including the Pantograph site. We think overall the Pantograph site makes the most sense. Hopefully we will be successful in acquiring that site. This appears to be the direction you're going. But if not, we do have other options, which is always important as you go into negotiations with property owners and so forth. So I'll just basically comment that I think staff is fully supportive of the direction it appears you're headed. I will, and I agree, some of the questions that Vice Chair Heil had are very legitimate and important design questions, but I think some of them maybe, particularly as it relates to pedestrian circulation and so forth, those are ones that I'm sure were considered during the site evaluation process, and I'm sure Chad can provide some clarity. So Chad, I'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, so as Ryan, as you noted, and Mark, kind of as you added on there, you know, safety certainly is one of the upfront concerns and items that we take into account. Certainly, you know, the design at this point, you know, it's a preliminary vision, right? So all of those items we will take into consideration as you know, we look at the next set of tasks that we need to complete, and then certainly, you know, down the road, once you know you move on to that next step of you know, actual construction and whatnot. But nonetheless, you know, talking about clearance and turning movements and things of that nature, Julie, you know, you see on I believe all three layouts, we have shown what they refer to as a sawtooth design, where the buses are somewhat offset as they turn, you know, into their space, and that allows for them to still pull through, as you noted, and turn out away from that pedestrian pickup zone. So that was very important, as opposed to just lining them, you know, back to front. That creates some sightline concerns. So looking at that sawtooth design was something that we have shown at the current time to help hopefully with any of those concerns. Additionally, yes, pedestrian is also a large concern from the standpoint of loading, unloading, and then even just getting to the transfer center itself. So in most of the designs, we have tried to keep that more centrally located, where it's kind of one main loading and unloading zone, trying to minimize the amount of pedestrian traffic across the bus traffic specifically. And certainly, as you know, get further into design, we can look further and again take these questions, you know, into consideration. So
Thanks, Chad.
that was that's a very abbreviated response, but hopefully that helps provide a little bit of clarity.
Thanks, Chad. And let me just say this. And thanks for bringing that up, Julie, and Chad, I guess I should say this. So what I've learned in this process is renderings are pretty pictures and they help give an idea. Renderings are also a pain because people think that that's what we are building. And so I just want the public to know that in our packet and the public, those are renderings that Farnsworth Group has kind of just put some conceptual ideas together based on other projects that they've seen. That is by no means what we are voting on today, or that's the route we're going down. So I just want to make sure that the public really understands that if we choose the Pantograph site, we are not committing to that design right now either. We will do that later in the process with that. Before I go back, I want to make sure that the ex officios, if they'd like to make any comments about anything, or any input. Billy, any thoughts from you on anything?
Other than not really, other than to say I really, really appreciated the process. I think it was, you know, it involved a number of different entities as part of making a decision. I think it involved the public, and we made the extra effort to involve the public. I appreciated the fact that this board and you as chairman and staff incorporated the thoughts of our elected body as well. You know, I think that was important, and I felt like there was a transparency there that helped with the process. And so I just really want to say that I appreciated that. And I also I want to say how excited we are about this project happening. I mean, it's a big deal. And I don't want people to lose sight of how big of a deal it is for this community. And so, again, I appreciated the process for sure.
Thank you, Billy. Thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you helping us, the Bloomington trustees and Mark Peterson and I and staff connect with your council and helping bridge that. So thank you for acknowledging that, the hard work of the trustees here. So thank you for saying that. Town Manager Reese, any thoughts?
The only comments I'll make are just to reiterate, especially Billy's last comment, it is a big deal. It's nice to see this project moving forward, and I do appreciate everyone's thoughtfulness in expressing their opinion on the preferred site. And I agree with people's comments. So thank you.
Thank you, Pam. I appreciate that. So I said that I would offer one more time. We'd go through if there are, I'm just going to read your name. If you have any follow-up thoughts, or did anybody spur any questions or concerns in their comments? And if not, you can just say pass. So Trustee Buchanan, any follow-up?
Just very briefly, I was reminded as I was listening to all my colleagues here, what a rich process this has been and how it's informed all of us. I mean, so many people have responded to the survey across the board. All of us have talked to people. I talked to people downtown and not downtown. So I really appreciate that. And I think going forward, we can be proud that we are doing something that I think has our community behind us.
Thank you, Judy. Appreciate it. Trustee Foster, any follow-up thoughts?
I'm always take time out to thank everyone for appreciating the process. And I believe that, all of the input that we received was well written, and that we seriously have taken everything into consideration. Every thought that people have thought about and share with us was examined, was looked at. So please, I want to say thank you for letting us know what you're thinking. And in addition to that, the staff for what they have done and the input that they have given us, it takes all of this to make this thing come to fruition. So the idea of everybody's input, everybody's voice mattered. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Foster. Trustee Presley, any thoughts?
Excited to move forward, and I think that the consensus that we've all reached through a variety of means is testament to how the data really converged for those decisions. And thanks to the community for helping us with that process.
Thank you, Deb. Appreciate it. Trustee McHugh, any thoughts?
Pass at this point.
Okay, thanks. Thanks. Trustee Raoul, anything? You're on mute.
I thank all the members who have prepared this proposal, and it's really elaborative and a good process, as everyone said. And also I thank all the public, those who have given inputs, very detailed inputs were given. It's not only the decision making while building, also those inputs will be considered, I believe so. And with that, I thank everyone for doing an excellent job. Thank you.
Thanks, Mandava. Appreciate it. Vice Chairman Heil, any last thoughts?
I think a value add of this process has been how it has allowed us to come together as a board of trustees. We have a lot of new talent in our group, and you all seem like you've been on board for a while, because we have had some serious work to do. I think we've done it really well. I think that the consensus that we have developed on the basis of really good analysis and work with our staff as partners bodes well for our future as a board.
Thanks, Julie. Okay, I've got consensus here, so I'm going to go ahead and ask a Bloomington trustee to make the motion to approve the Pantograph as our first site and give staff the authority to move forward with trying to acquire that site. Can I get a Bloomington moved by Judy Buchanan, seconded by Linda Foster? Any discussion on this? Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll, and I'd like to start that vote, followed by Vice Chairman Heil, and then we'll go through that, please.
All right. Chairman Ryan Whitehouse,
Aye.
Vice Chairman Julie Heil,
Aye.
Trustee Judy Buchanan,
Yes. Aye.
Trustee Linda Foster,
Absolutely.
Trustee Deb Presley,
Yes.
Trustee Tim McHugh,
Yes.
Trustee Mandava Rao.
Aye.
Congratulations, everybody. We have a site selected, and staff get to work, and let's try to acquire this. So thank you again for all your hard work, your dedication. Thank you, Billy. Thank you to Tim Gleason and the City Council for being a great partner to this and hearing us out and providing input. Appreciate it. And to the public and to the business owners and the property owners in downtown Bloomington, between an 18 and $20 million investments come into your downtown area. And I can't wait till we can break the ground and, better yet, cut the ribbon. So with that, congratulations. We will move on to trustees' comments. And before that, I do want to, it was off the agenda by accident, so I want to provide the opportunity for our interim general manager, Mark Peterson, to provide any thoughts or input. You're on mute, Mark.
There we go. Sorry about that. I do want to acknowledge, because with this process you've just been through, I've seen firsthand the incredible amount of time that your chairman has put into this project. I want to acknowledge Ryan. He has gone above and beyond, I can tell you, in making sure that we are getting information out. He's made countless personal connections with elected officials and other stakeholders in the community. So I just want to acknowledge, because I know he has put a tremendous amount of time into this, and I think that's why we've kind of reached consensus fairly easily at this point. So I want to acknowledge Ryan's hard work. He's really done an amazing job.
Thank you, Mark.
And yes, worthy of a round of applause. I do want to just state briefly, Ryan, if I could, we will pin our ears back on staff now and move as quickly as possible. There's a lot of things to do. The acquisition process, since we're using state and federal dollars, is very prescriptive. We have to very carefully follow the procurement rules of both the federal and state governments, which are complicated, but we are working through those, and I think we understand how we need to proceed. We'll be reaching out to the property owner of the selected property right away and beginning the process of acquiring appraisals and doing environmental analysis and probably a building evaluation before we come back to you when we are prepared to make an offer. So that this will come back to you for formal action. The other thing I'd like to mention is, and this is my fault, I left off the agenda. I guess it's the Arizona Air, a matter to extend the fare suspension policy. So we'll bring that to you next month. It's really not essential. It's your policy. You've all indicated that you want to extend that for an indefinite period of time. So we'll bring you a formal action to do that at your March meeting. But I just did want to acknowledge that that was my error, and Jill caught it today. It was too late to fix it, but I appreciate Jill bringing that to my attention. And I also like to say, just to credit you all, credit to the staff, but I wanted to say the staff is just working very, very hard. And the fact that there is not a full-time general manager, there is no chief operating officer, there is no procurement officer, and there is no HR director. The work is still getting done, and that means everybody on staff is doing extra work. And certainly since I've been out of the office, it's even been probably more intense. So I want to just acknowledge the staff and what a great job they're doing, and I'm very proud of them. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. So under chairman's remarks, I just want to do a few things here. I want to thank everyone again. Chad and Ed, thank you for the Farnsworth Group for getting us through this process and, doing it as quick as possible with COVID and making it easy for us to come up with this consensus. And so thank you for your hard work on that. It's really, really appreciated. I also want to thank our system. Put on Twitter last week. I know that there was a snowstorm last week and some of our sister operations took the day off and our system did not. We had a delayed start, but our drivers and our operations, we delivered our service still. So as board chair, I recognize that and I really, really appreciate that. I appreciate that you showed up to work even during a snowstorm and you delivered the quality service that you do every day. So thank you very much to our drivers and to our operations and people that work at Connect Transit. So thank you very much on that. And the third thing, the job search for the new general manager. Mark is doing a great job, but we need to get the general manager. Mark has shared, I think, with you just a little bit ago from Chris, everything is going as planned. We've got some good interest and I think that, and you'll see from Chris's report that he will be bringing some names, mid to late March that we can start looking into. So you have an email from him explaining kind of that process, but everything is going great on that. And hopefully we can have that person sooner rather than later. So with that, I would open it up to trustees' comments. Anybody, have thoughts or questions about anything? Linda, yep, I heard you first. Linda, we'll let you go first.
I just want to echo what Marcus said, and we don't always say things to acknowledge what everybody else is doing that's closest to us. So Ryan, I want to say to you, thank you so much, because the paperwork that's sent out, all of the advance notices, having a conversation to talk through things, any questions that we may have, we know that our connection is because of your connection and what you're doing to make sure we stay connected. So all of these, I don't know everything that you do, but I do know whatever you do, it takes time, and it takes you away from other things that you may be doing. But being president, it comes with that. But I want you to know that we do appreciate what you're doing, and like to let you know that we're supporting you. Yeah, sometimes we got to have longer conversations, but we make it there. Yeah. We get there.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Thank you. Vice Chairman Heil, sound like you had something to say.
First of all, what she said. Late nights, early mornings.
Yeah.
Weekends.
Showered, not showered. You're all over it.
You have seen me. With that I agree. Yeah, you have.
And it's great. I really, really do appreciate it, and just would add my comments to Linda's. The other thing I have to mention is an email that I am about to send to everyone. It's a separate topic, but the American Public Transit Association, APTA, is holding next Wednesday, the 3rd of March, a webinar from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Terrible about regular work days, but I do think that they occasionally record these events, and so we may be able to get it in a recording if you're not able to make it at that time. The session is titled Transit Board Member Orientation and Transit 101. So it's particularly useful for those of you who are maybe newer to the table, but I'm going if I can. I find these things always super helpful, and you'll have the chance to meet some other folks who are in the transit board member community. And you've heard me say before, they are wonderful folks and very, very good resources for us. So I will send you that information. No registration is needed. You'll have the Zoom link, the meeting ID, the password, and so on. So you're warmly welcome to attend. I think they reprise this event other times during the year, but this is a good one.
Thanks, Julie. I encourage you as trustees. Julie is really involved with APTA, and she has been pushing me to try to push our board to get involved with APTA. I encourage and you to get involved with APTA. If you have those type of sessions, register for those types of things. They do provide a lot of good service. Julie, thank you for sending that email. Just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, do not reply all to that email. Julie can email all of us, but we cannot reply back. So just remember that. So thanks for doing that. Any other comments from trustees or Mandava, do you have one, bud?
Yeah, I'm very happy to be in this board, very active and very hardworking and passionate. I served in different boards, but I have seen the much passion over here. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. Any other trustees' comments or anything from this town or city manager?
Thank you, Julie.
Okay.
Brian, if I could
Yeah,
just
sure,
jump
Pam.
in, one quick thing, I just also wanted to express my appreciation to Connect Transit a couple of weeks ago, 10 days or so ago. We had a little pesky train derailment in Uptown Normal, and I know that caused Connect Transit to be nimble and flexible, and they also supported our crews. So thanks for all the staff did that weekend, that day. Very much a team effort that weekend. Also thanks to Bloomington, but thanks all around to the community.
Yeah, thank you, Pam. Thanks for leading on that issue. And thankfully it wasn't any worse than it was, but thanks for letting the board and the public know that Connect was, and our employees were there to help. So thank you. Any other last comments, and we can go enjoy the sun? Okay, I'll take a motion for adjournment, please.
I make a
for
motion.
adjournment? Motion by Deb Presley, seconded by Linda Foster. Can I clerk call the roll?
Trustee Judy Buchanan,
Yes.
trustee Linda Foster,
Yes.
vice chairman Julie Heil,
Yes.
trustee Tim McHugh,
Yes.
trustee Deb Presley,
Yes.
trustee Mandava Rao,
Yes.
chairman Ryan Whitehouse.
Yes, we are adjourned. Congratulations, everybody. Thank you for your time. See you next week, month.
Thank you.